Good morning, students. Today I have come up with an important topic of D and F block elements, standard electrode potential of transition metals. This is an important topic in the sense that if you are able to understand this topic, you will be able to do most of the questions which are based on finding whether a particular metal ion in a particular oxidation state is an oxidizing or reducing agent. So let's start the topic. See, in aqueous medium, if we take aqueous medium, in aqueous medium, these metal transition elements are metals and they have a tendency to lose the electrons. The common oxidation state for the first transition series is 2 plus. So we are taking here M2 plus. Now in aqueous medium, they change from the solid state into M2 plus ion in aqueous medium. So the stability of any compound in aqueous solution depends upon its electrode potential, and we will see how it will depend. See, solid state, it is changing to M2 plus in aqueous medium. This process of changing, suppose the total enthalpy involved is delta HR. Now what will happen? First, metal from the solid state will change to metal in the gaseous state. The enthalpy involved is known as sublimation energy. This metal in the gaseous state will then lose to electron and it will change to M2 plus ion in the gaseous state. The energy involved is known as ionization energy. And this metal ion in the gaseous state will get hydrated to form metal ion in the aqueous state, and the energy involved is known as hydration enthalpy. So overall there are three types of energies involved. First is sublimation energy, second is ionization, and third is hydration enthalpy. Now let's check the sign. Sublimation energy is the energy required to convert solid into gases, so it has a positive sign. Ionization energy is also the energy required, so it has positive sign. Hydration enthalpy is the energy released, so it has negative sign. So the overall change of the reaction will be equal to enthalpy of sublimation plus ionization energy plus hydration enthalpy, and this is nothing but your electrode potential. So the electrode potential of any element depends upon three values: sublimation energy, ionization energy, and its hydration enthalpy. These two have positive sign and hydration enthalpy has negative sign. Now let's see the trend in the first transition series of metal ions. Just check this out. Titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. Now just check their electrode potential EM2 plus M values. Now the first point is EM2 plus to M value shows an irregular trend on moving across the series, that is the first transition series. Why it shows an irregular trend? Because there is an irregular variation of the ionization energies and the sublimation energy. So it has irregular trend due to the irregular variation in sublimation energy and ionization energies. And now as you can see, these reduction potential values become less negative on moving across the series. With few exceptions like manganese, they generally become less negative because the ionization energy increases across the series. So E0 values become less negative across the series because the ionization energy increases across the series. Third point is, as you can see in this series, copper is the only element with positive electrode potential. Now what is the reason for copper showing the positive electrode potential value? The reason is, as we have just discussed, the sublimation energies and the ionization energy is not balanced by its hydration enthalpy. Electrode potential values are the sum of these three forms of energy, and in case of copper, the hydration enthalpy does not compensate for its sublimation energy and ionization energy. That is, the value of hydration enthalpy does not compensate for its sublimation energies and ionization. Sublimation energy is low, so it is not able to compensate, so the positive values are more and the negative value is less. So copper is only metal showing positive E0 values. Now, from any metal species, this is standard reduction potential. If the value is more negative, that means the left hand side species is more stable. Again, look here, if it is more negative means it will have low value, so it will have less tendency to get reduced. Less tendency to get reduced means this species will be more stable. So if the value is more negative, left hand side species is more stable. If the value is more positive, we can compare in this case M3 plus M2 plus. If it is more positive means it will have high tendency to get reduced. That means M3 plus ion will change to M2 plus ion. It will be more positive means it will easily change to M2 plus ion, and the right hand species is more stable. So this is a trick to use for finding out the whether which of the following species is more stable. Now in the first transition series, if we compare their reduction potential in terms of M2 plus to M values, we can see that manganese, zinc and nickel, they have high negative value as than expected. See, manganese has minus 1.18, chromium has 0.90, it has 0.44. So manganese has high negative reduction potential. It means if we take this Mn2 plus to Mn, that means it is more negative. More negative means this species will be more stable. And as you can see, Mn2 plus has D5 configuration. Since it has D5 configuration, it has less tendency to get reduced to Mn, and so it has highly negative E0 M2 plus to M value. Second case, zinc. Zinc again, Zn2 plus is a highly stable oxidation state. Plus 2 in zinc in plus 2 has 310 configuration. It is highly stable and hence it has less tendency to get reduced. Nickel has another reason. Nickel has high hydration enthalpy, due to which its E0 value is highly negative. So all these three metals have highly negative E0 M2 plus to M values.